So when I first told the internet about my surgery and the fact that I now have a stoma, the most common question that was asked, other than what the hell is a stoma, was, what about sex? Can you have sex? Is sex different now? And I don't know whether that's because I do sex and relationships education and I talk about sex a lot online, so people felt comfortable asking me that question. By the way, if you ask that question, I'm not saying that it was a bad thing for you to ask that. It's totally fine. I'm totally okay with people asking me that question. I'm not sure if it's because I'm so open about sex that loads of people were asking that, or everyone was just asking it because just want to know and super curious and just like, what does that mean for your sex life now? How does it all work down there? So that is what this video is about. I'm going to talk about sex with a stoma, but not with a stoma. Like, don't go inserting anything into a stoma. It's not about that. It's about sex if you have a stoma, or sex if your partner has a stoma. Just need to clarify that first of all. I'll mostly be talking from my experience and how I've found things and some things that I've learned. So the surgery that I had removed my entire colon and left my rectum. So it actually didn't faff around with any of my genitals or my reproductive system or any of that. So, in theory, that all works fine and normally as it should. And in practice, to my knowledge, that is what's happened. It literally doesn't make a difference to the, I guess, the mechanical side of the sex. But the thing that does make a difference is the bag. So this is my stoma bag. I have an ileostomy, which means my stoma is on my right hand side. It's like down here. And so the stoma, this is the sticky bit. My stoma is through here. This is stuck to my body and this is flapping around. And so you can imagine how annoying that is during sex. No one wants that. Also, I have a very short body, so my stoma bag kind of like, just this bit is just hanging around the pubic line as well. So the first thing I'll say that I have to do during any kind of sexy times is fold the bag up. So there's loads of different types of bags, but this brand, which is Coloplast, this one that I have, it like this bit where you empty it and has a Velcro here, but they also have a Velcro up here, so I can fold it up like so, and then it's basically half the size. As you can see, it's not really going to be flapping around so much. So that's just constantly what my bag is like during sex. Also, have to empty it before sex. So spontaneous sex is kind of not really a thing, although loads of people pee before sex. It's just like getting it all out of your system, and also just like, you know, you freshen up, do all that, you get ready, so it's not that big a deal. But it might be a case of like sexy times have started and then I have to be like, oh, gotta go empty the bag. But you know, I've done that before with like, oh, need to pee. So another thing that I do to make it not seem like there is a bag of poo attached to my body during sexy times is getting certain clothing items to cover it up but still have genital access. What a conversation this is. Okay, 1 minute. Rewind a second. When I was in hospital and when I was first having the conversations with the stoma nurse about the fact that I might need a stoma, even me felt weird asking. I was like, what about sex? And she was like, it's fine. It, like, basically, it's the same as before. You just have to manage the bag, basically. And there is information online on like the NHS and on other kind of like ostomy, stoma support websites, charities and stuff. There is information out there about sex, but it kind of just says communicate, you can have sex, and that's it. There isn't really any practical tips, which is where I had to kind of go out and like seek that information myself. So one of the things that I found, I think it's from a brand called Ostomy Secrets, but they have these bands, these like wrap around your body. So this one is like called Intimacy Wrap, I think. And look at that. Look at that. It just goes right around your waist, just covers up the bag. And basically it's got a pocket like this. Demonstration. Bag attached to body. Goes in pocket, like so. See that? So now that's just hanging out in there. And then it's like that. So it's like tucked away, out of the way. it looks sexy and genitals available. And another little hack that I've discovered is high-waisted, crotchless underwear. And I don't have any to show you, but I do have this to show you, which is a little piece that I got on Lovehoney. By the way, I have an affiliate link with Lovehoney, so if you do ever want to treat yourself to sex toys or lingerie, please do use my link because it helps me out and shows your support. So I got this number, so this is just like a full body lacy thing. It's a one size fits all, which I was not convinced by, but I just tie these up super tight. But yeah, basically it's like this. Stoma bag is, you know, hidden away or like tucked in away, but it's crotchless. Hello. So that's kind of like how I've gotten around the sexy times and making sure the bag isn't getting in the way or anything like that. On a less practical and more emotional level, I guess, the thing that has really helped me is just that communication and that intimacy and that closeness of my partner with the Stoma and with the Stoma bag, but in a non-sexual situation. So it's just that reassurance of that they're not grossed out by it, that they don't care, that they still find you attractive and they still fancy you. I'm a fairly confident person, but definitely like since this, I do need a lot more reassurance. And I definitely find myself like asking the question, like, do you still find me attractive? Like, do you still think I'm sexy? And that is literally just coming from a place of insecurity, and I just need to be reassured. So if you or your partner have a Stoma, just communicate, just talk about it. One thing that has really helped me with intimacy, not even sex, but just like intimacy and that comfortableness with each other and with the Stoma, is I like going to sleep with my hand on it, because sometimes as I'm falling asleep, she's like farting and doing her thing, and I can like feel the pressure on the bag, and I find that really comforting and I really like it. And so Dan will sometimes, like as we're falling asleep, he'll have his arm around me, but he'll put his hand on the bag too. And I find that really reassuring because it shows that like he's not afraid of it. He's like comforting me, but like hand on the bag, so it's like it doesn't bother him. Another thing that me and my partner did was I put a bag on him. Just one evening, I kind of like roughly guessed where it would like be on his body, and we stuck the bag to him, and he just kind of like walked around with it to see how it felt, sat down on the toilet with it to see like how it goes and stuff like that. And so I think that was a really great exercise in empathy, because like one of the first things he said was like, oh, it's a bit scratchy, because when it's dangling down, like these corners and stuff can sometimes like hit on your skin, and it just kind of like scratches you a little bit. And then the other thing is that my skin around the Stoma feels super itchy sometimes, and so I'm like trying to scratch it through this like hard plastic, just like Argh. So that was really good, because then it kind of like gave him an idea of what it's like. The other biggest question I get is about anal sex, and let me tell you a funny story. When I first came out of the operation theatre, I was high as a kite, in loads of pain. I was wheeled into the intensive care unit, and my bed was surrounded by surgeons, and I was just like, just like this. And they're like, the surgery went really well, Hannah, do you have any questions? And I was just like, how big is my rectum? So apparently in that moment, I just really needed to know like how much of my rectum was like left inside me. So my surgeon said that the rectum is about 12 to 14 centimeters or something like that. I was high, maybe I've got this all wrong. And so my follow-up question was, can I put stuff in it? This was like the first thing that apparently that I wanted to know. And to be honest, I can't remember what you said. And then when I look online, all of the articles on like all of those helpful websites that I mentioned previously, when it talks about sex and stomas, it's literally just talking about vaginal sex. So there's just like no info about that there. You guys can be my internet. What do you think? Can you have anal sex if you have a stump of a rectum? At some point in the future, I am going to have surgery again, either to remove my rectum or get a reversal and have a J pouch. And I'm pretty sure then with those two, shouldn't be able to have anal sex. I mean, obviously, rectum removed, no way you can have anal sex. You don't even like have it would be just like this. Whereas with a J pouch, they remove your rectum and then like fashion a thing out of your small intestine, which I think is just a lot more sensitive. So like putting things up that is probably not the best idea. But I don't know. If you have a J pouch, or if you have a permanent stoma so you don't have a rectum, please let me know your experiences with butt stuff if you want to. So yeah, those are my main points about sex with a stoma. Question marks surrounding butt stuff, please let me know. Practical little things, and of course just that communication, emotional intimacy and trust. Super, super important. But ultimately, if you have a stoma or your partner has a stoma, it is not going to stop you from having the sex life that you want. Thank you for watching this video. Please do give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I make new videos every week. Bye!